Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Today has been super hectic, and it is later than I would like for it to have been, but it is what it is. So that little saying was for me. Accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. I have faith that tomorrow will be a better day. Oh, hey Beth. Hey Michelle. I saw you get on, Megan. Okay, so if you have a cute, oily name, you have to tell me what your real name is. Like Merrily Oily. I don't know what your name is. So tell me what your name is and where you guys are from. It's another gorgeous day here in Texas. So unlike our normal August weather. Actually, so I don't remember why I thought about taxes, but I should have. Jody, hi. Virginia, I got to meet you at convention, super fun. At some point, I was thinking that I should have mentioned taxes in one of my scopes. And then today I was like, all right, what do I want to talk about? Because I have a handful of ideas. And then I had opened up to the page that I had been tracking taxes for myself, I think for last year or something. And I thought, all right, I don't know that I've ever seen a scope on taxes. And I was actually doing some things kind of this morning. Hey, Kelly. So a couple housekeeping things. Go ahead and give me hearts if you like what I'm saying. I normally just sit there and tap on the phone when I'm watching other people's scopes just because it's fun. The other day I accidentally tried to do it during my scope. I don't know why. And it flipped around. Anyway, it made me laugh. But I do have a Catch.me account. If you haven't caught any of my previous scopes, most of them are up there, so you can take a look at those. Hey, there's the hearts. Love them. Feel free to follow my husband, Jay Jacobs 117. He talks about making dinner and scoping. What a great activity, right? So I used to a lot of times listen to recordings and conference calls and lots of things while I was making dinner, doing the dishes, multitask. Taxes are hard. And I guess because I love math and was a math teacher, I don't hate them. Now, don't ask if I do them, if I keep track of them very well, but I know how. Okay, so one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this is I do all the books for my dad's business. He owns a lawn care service, and for the last 3-4 years, I guess, I've done his books. And when I first started, I moved all his stuff, I computerized his system and organized it and whatnot. He had a good system going, but it wasn't on the computer, and so I entered everything in QuickBooks and got it all set up, got the reports going and things like that, and digitized his business. So what I do for his company, I strive to do for mine, because his is very organized. And so again, I'm going to let go of what was and start, have faith that tomorrow's going to be better. And I'm going to explain to you guys what we all should be doing when it comes to keeping track of our taxes. The biggest piece of advice I could give you for your taxes is to keep good records, period. Have your receipts and have things organized, because there's nothing worse than at the end of the year, and especially in a business that you didn't expect to take off, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, the end of the year is here and I've got to do taxes and I don't even know what that looks like. So keeping good records throughout the course of the year, this is one of those things. Little steps make big changes, or makes a big difference. Doing little things throughout the year is going to make your life so much easier when it comes to tax time. If this is your first year in doing Young Living or a network marketing company, you have to make over $600 in order to file taxes. So if you have made in commissions $600 or more, you will be required to file taxes at the end of the year. Now, hello. Okay, where was I going with that? You'll be required to file taxes. Okay, if this is your first year in being self-employed, you don't have to file quarterly. However, if last year you were, and I don't know all the tax rules, and I'm not a tax expert, but I've got a little bit of experience, so I'm going to share that with you. Hey, Hills, up in Indiana. Good to see you. So if you filed last year as self-employed, then The following year, you're required to file quarterly and to submit your estimated taxes. So if you don't know what that means, contact your CPA. Oh, yeah. Yeah, what part are you in, Megan? Maybe you guys can connect, because that would be super cool. Hillary's awesome, and that would be a really fun connection for you, Megan. Yeah, if you don't know what estimated tax is and all that stuff, contact your CPA. Like I said, I don't know all the rules and things, but I just know that you're required to do that. So, hey, Alyssa. Okay, so here's what you want to do. What I do for my dad is I have a big binder, and we keep all of the receipts in there, all of the statements, everything, and it's super organized. He actually got audited, and he ends up using about three-ring binders for the 1 year, and we submitted those binders, and they were like amazed because of how well everything was organized. And so, like I said, I strive to do what I do for his business for my own, because it would really make my life a lot easier. And again, sitting down and entering things. Oh, super cool. I would love for you guys to meet up. I think that would be fun. Doing little things on a regular basis is really going to make your life easier. So even if you don't have QuickBooks set up, even if you don't have, everything computerized and all that kind of stuff, but if you will sit down, depending on how big your business is, but it doesn't matter how big your business is, if you will sit down on a regular basis, even if it's just 15 minutes a week, and write things out and stay organized, your CPA will thank you. You will thank you come April. Last year, I did not follow this advice, and for like 3 days straight, I was sitting at a table trying to remember, all the trips I had taken for business. So dumb, because there's no way, really what I did was I lost money, because there's no way that I'm going to remember, the trips that I took a year ago. And I'm talking trips like driving to the bank, or driving, I know, Alyssa. And if I don't change some things, I'm going to be there again. But I did change some things, and I'll share a couple of those tricks and tools with you. All the little trips that you take just around town to deliver samples, to, go pick things up, all those things count, and they're deductible. And so, not keeping track of those really just hurts your bottom line in the end. So TaxBot is a great app to use, and there is a Young Living discount for that. So it comes out to, is it $5 a month, y'all? That costs, I think. And you can actually track trips in there. I found an app a couple months ago. A friend showed it to me, and it's called Mile IQ. And yeah, $5 a month for TaxBot. Mile IQ comes out to the same, $5 a month, if you pay for a year. So it's $60. But what I like about Mile IQ is it tracks every single trip I take. And then about once a week I go in and I tell that app whether it was a personal or a business trip. And you literally swipe from side to side, and it categorizes it. You can also categorize your personal trips as charity or health, because again, all those mileages are deductible. So did you know every time you drive to the doctor or the dentist that you can file that under medical stuff, and it's actually deductible. So I have been able to keep track of all of my trips with this app. I try to do TaxBot, and I always forget to turn it off or turn it on. I think they changed some of that recently, where they might track all of your trips now, but I was just excited to have a separate app where all it does is track my mileage, and I can go online and file reports and things like that. So that's called Mile IQ, if you're interested in that. And then the binder. That really is the biggest way to stay organized. And I'm really excited about having an office where all my stuff is going to be in one place. And this is going to be something, this is why I thought of it. This should be something, yes, round trip counts. So driving, to the place to drop off the samples and then back home, both of those trips count. When I was discussing, what your workday looks like, this should be a part of that, at least once a week, where you sit down and you do tax stuff. Whether you're just, writing down receipts on a ledger, whether you're writing down trips and mileage. Again, trying to figure out mileage for 200 trips at the end of the year is insane. Trying to go on Google Maps and figure it out. I know. It pops up every once in a while. My Blue tries to keep it down a lot. Mile IQ, it's great. Yeah. So TaxBot, you can take pictures of your receipts and upload them and things like that. But anyway, So writing things down, writing down your receipts, writing down your trips, figuring out the mileage for your trips, on a weekly basis. Again, you could do this in probably 15 to 30 minutes a week. But if you wait until the end of the year, you're going to lose out on money. Is really what that comes down to. So what I do is go out and buy a binder, buy divider tabs for the months, January through December. And actually what you're going to do is you're going to put them in your binder backwards. So January is at the very back, and that's where you're going to start. So, okay, we're in August. Start in August. Uh-oh, a child's yelling for me. We'll see if she makes it out here. I'm sure she will. Start in August, okay? So you have the August divider in there. Oh, there she is. What's up?
I can't control the TV yet.
You can't control the TV? Can you ask Allison to help?
No, because I watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Okay.
It's a different one.
I'll help you in just a minute when I get in there, okay?
I'm around.
Okay, so, I know, right? Hey, I have kids. Hey, Hillary says hi. She said hi, Hillary. So anyway, start with August. You put the August divider in there, and behind the August divider, you want to, when you get your, I know, it's a decent show. You put your bank statement in there first. Then you put your cell phone statement in there. If you have an in-home office, then you can put your electric bill in there. You can put any of those bills that your CPA has told you can write off. Put those things in there. Then typically I'll do receipts, and I'll staple receipts to a piece of paper, because especially the small ones, I don't want to punch holes in those. But you can staple them to a piece of paper, and if you want to write a little description beside it, then do that. If you're going to write down your mileage, have your piece of paper there. And a really good thing to do is, if you don't have a mileage tracker, just get a piece of paper, write down the date, write where you went and why, and then write the mileage beside it. Go on Google Maps, figure out the miles to and from the location, and then write it down there. And so those are the things you want to have in that month. And then when it comes time for September, then put the September tab in front of the August tab, and then put those same things behind it. And then if you do quarterly, like if you have an S Corp and you do your 941s and all of those things, print those out quarterly, put them in that binder. And then every single thing you need to do your taxes is in that binder. And if, heaven forbid, you would ever to be audited, you would have all those things in there, and they would be super organized, and your auditor would probably thank you. So like I said, I've been through a couple audits, both with TWC and with IRS, and the binder thing is amazing. Good question. Honestly, I would do it now. I started out with just a separate checking account. It was a personal checking account. It wasn't a business account, but I just went in and got a separate checking account. And it's really, really good for accounting purposes to have a separate account. Even if you're making $100 a month, I would do it, because then when you get your check, you can deposit your check in there. So then you've got a good record of your income. Then one of the best things I learned this year, in January, I went to a tax class with a CPA. One of the best things that I walked away with, and I've actually done pretty good this year at, is keeping your accounts separate. One of the things that the IRS wants to see is that you are treating this as a business. So part of treating it as a business is having a separate account that you take all of your business expenses from. That doesn't mean that you can't transfer money out of that account. But one thing that I did last year, Hillary's agreeing with me, her husband's an accountant, so he's the one that, should be teaching all the rules. Like I said, I don't know all the rules. That's what I asked my, CPA about. But her husband's a CPA. Or wait, right? Yeah, certified public accountant. Anyway, so treating it like a business. That means, okay, so one thing that I was really bad at last year is I had direct deposit from Young Living. So my checks would be directly deposited, and I would just pay for bills out of that account, and I would buy groceries, and what did it really matter? Well, again, when it came time last year to do my taxes, or this year in April, I was sitting down having to go through 2 entire accounts trying to determine which was which. Oh, was this a business, expense, or was this a personal expense? It will make your life so much easier if you have a separate account. And then that, pretty much all of your expenses will be in there. I know, happy payday, right? I thought this was a good topic, because today's payday and we should be taking out a big old chunk of our checks and putting it aside for taxes. So I put aside 20 to 30% for mine, as you become a bigger baller, it might be a bigger percent, but you're probably pretty safe with 20 to 30%, depending on your CPA. So I think last year mine was right about 20%. Yeah, it really, again, it's just going to make your life easier. And I know from in my experience, because the business kind of snuck up on me and my checks escalated so quickly, I didn't have a system in place, and it really sucked last year. So Alyssa agrees. Yeah, she feels my pain on a bigger scale. How much money do you have to make with Young Living to pay taxes on the money? I mentioned this at the beginning, $600 over the course of the year. If you make more than $600, then you have to claim it on income tax. Okay? So, a separate credit card helps too. Yes, any way that you can separate. I use, just my debit card. Absolutely. Any way that you can separate things so that, again, if you don't keep amazing records, throughout the course of the year, if you can just print out your credit card statement at the end of the month, and then that's something great to put into that binder. Like I said, any bank statements, and who gets statements mailed to them anymore except my dad? No one. So just be sure once a month, and you can always go in and print off last year's statements. Again, doing it on a monthly basis is way better than waiting until the end of the year and trying to print off 12 months worth of statements and then running out of ink and then freaking out because your taxes are due tomorrow. I don't know what that's like at all. So anyway, I think that's about all I have. If you guys have any questions, do you have an LLC or just a business account? Okay, I started out with just a checking account, business account. I did go ahead and make an LLC this year with an S Corp. And so reason for that is your CPA can help you decide when you want to do that. Absolutely, Jen. Your CPA can help you decide. Ours kind of told us a money amount when we were making a certain amount. This is when you kind of want to look at creating an LLC. He suggested an S Corp. Yes. And that kind of a thing because of our situation and whatnot. And then that produces a little bit more paperwork. You've got to pay payroll taxes and some stuff like that. Again, I do it for my dad every week, and it takes like an hour. I pay all his employees, all that stuff. It is a little daunting to get started, but form a little support group with some of your friends and, call each other on a weekly basis. Okay, have you done your taxes yet? Okay, me neither. Let's sit down and do those. Meet up for coffee, do something, because your future self will really thank you. I promise. So just get a system. Again, the binder is a super easy way to track things. Again, even if you don't have QuickBooks and have a way to input everything into a computer, putting everything into a binder, having it all in the same place, will make your life really easy when it comes time to do your taxes. So that's kind of all my tips for today. H&R Block, is that where you get your taxes done? Okay, so create the checking account. Like I said, your LLC, talk to your CPA. Kind of once you start to earn a certain amount of money, that's when you want to start to look at that. You can save money on income, on self-employment tax by creating an LLC with an S Corp. QuickBooks. I know, me too. Okay, so do you have the online version or the full version? Because I tried to download the online version, and I can't say that I loved it because I'm used to working with the full version. Which one do you have, Alyssa? Anybody else out there have QuickBooks? Which version do you have? The online one, or did you buy the full one? Online? Ugh. I need to give it another try. I've just been using the full version for 3 or 4 years, and I really liked it because it tracks a lot. And I know, and maybe it's just that I'm used to the other one, and so I know how to navigate it, and the online one is just different. I don't know. Yeah. YNAB? I think my brother uses that. He really likes YNAB. Cool, so you can have 2 different ones for business and personal. Man, whatever you have, whatever tools you can find, just be consistent with it, because that's the key. Yeah, I've heard lots and lots of good things. Okay, so YNAB stands for You Need a Budget, and you can do personal. It hooks up to all your online accounts and credit cards and all that kind of stuff. So every time you spend something on your debit card, you can go in and categorize it, and people just love it. Yeah, I got to the point where TaxSpot didn't do what I wanted it to. So you can get QuickBooks. I think it's I pay $20 a month for my QuickBooks, and that's because I do payroll taxes and 941s. Well, I'm supposed to be. So that's why I got the $20 version. I think you can get the $10 version. That's so true. I like that you can't lose the online version. Computers die. They do die. And I know my dad's got some backup copies and things like that. And that's why having a binder is really good too, because then everything's organized, and again, heaven forbid something happened to your computer or whatever, you still can go back and recreate all those reports and all that stuff really easily if you have that binder set up. I'm going to make a commitment to myself to go inside and start my binder, because I have my binder, I have the monthly tabs, I have an accordion file with all of my receipts in it. So if you didn't see it at the beginning, you kind of can't see this. Accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. So I'm going to let go of what I have not done for taxes this year. And I'm going to have faith that I'm going to have amazing records for the next 5 months that's left of the year. Here's the other Nina.
Hi.
I know, right, Alyssa? Put on some stress away. Put on some believe. Hello. The calendar. I know. So I got the calendar in Washington at this amazing bookstore called Atticus. Like Atticus Finch from The Mockingbird, or from To Kill a Mockingbird. Yes, abundance, all of those things. So the calendar, it's actually for next year. Dang good. It's a good day to have a good day. Like I said, it's for next year. It has amazing like pictures and quotes and things. It is OrangeCircleStudio.com. There you go, OrangeCircleStudio.com. Look it up. They had a couple different ones, but I really like this one. It's very inspiring. She just shut you out. Well, I think you can open the door. I don't think she locked it. My children get restless if they're not attended to for a couple minutes. My husband's inside. Anyway, the calendar's awesome. Okay, no more comments, no more questions. We're gonna call it a day. Thanks, Josh. Okay, so tomorrow, 1 o'clock, I want your questions about anything business related, topics that you would like to see future scopes about. Like I said, I have a couple more topics written down, but what do you guys want to know about? The other day somebody said they want a comp plan scope. I can do that. So tomorrow, 1 o'clock, question and answer time and suggested scope topics. All right? See you there. Bye, guys. Oh, yeah. Don't forget, the only way to fail is to quit. So don't quit. Have an awesome night. Bye.